It's not always a blessing to be a blessing. Hi, this is Barry Phillips with 10-Minute Torah. Day number 4, the Torah portion, Lecha. When we talk about living by covenant, with the covenant comes a certain amount of challenges. No one enters into a state of the high favor and blessing of Yah or into the overwhelming benefits of being in covenant with the Most High without seasonal or sometimes prolonged testings, trials, calls for endurance and perseverance. The idea that covenant means great financial blessing, overwhelming wealth, a carefree life where we just simply say, I believe, I trust, and things just wonderfully appear, easily obtained, problems resolve themselves instantly, and we go on in a very merry, comfortable way in life. It's not going to happen. When you read the book of Hebrews, chapter number 11, you will find that those that were prophets and those that were called to walk with the Most High, oftentimes they were without. They lived in a very meager fashion. They were tested. They were tried. They were punished. They were oftentimes martyred for their belief. But the word says the world was not worthy of them. If we take a peek over into the book of Deuteronomy, chapter number 8, verse 2 and 3 reads this way, And you shall remember that Yahweh your Elohim led you all the way these 40 years in the wilderness to humble you, prove you, to know what was in your heart, whether you guard his commands or not. And again, obviously, Yah knew their hearts even before they were tested, but they needed to know what was in their hearts. And he humbled you and let you suffer hunger and fed you with manna, which you did not know, nor did your fathers know, to make you know that man does not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of Yahweh. So if you are in a testing, trying, pressuring season of time, count yourself as not to be pitied, not to be picked on by Yah, but actually that you are being refined, that you are being polished, and that you are being prepared for a higher step. I have taught the bounce principle or rebound principle for quite a while, which basically says that if you are at this level and you want to obtain this level, it's not a straight line of advancement, but rather oftentimes it's a fall, a bounce, and a rebound to a higher level. That just seems to be the way things work, that we are experiencing the feeling of being dropped. We wonder, Father, where are you? If you've ever asked that question, you're in good company. We ask, do you not see what I'm going through? Oh, Yah, help me. If you've ever prayed those words, you're in a very large group. But when we hit the bottom of our faith, we rise up with firm belief, and more often than not, to a higher level than what we've been walking in previously. So the covenant oftentimes brings painful experiences. No one might say, well, why bother with the covenant? Because it's the covenant that takes us into the kingdom. We're not living this life for this life only. This is proving ground. This is trying times. This is refinement arenas. This is where we grow. This is where we learn to discern the heart of the Most High. We depend upon him. We learn to pray. We learn to fast. We learn to study the word with intensity and with greater focus rather than just reading words on the page. We don't go through mere religious exercises, but we learn to walk out our belief and do so firmly. And so when Yah calls Avram into this covenant, in chapter 12 of Bereshit or Genesis, he said, I shall make you a great nation and bless you and make your name great, and you shall be a blessing. We overlook the word make there. It's a process. This is not Yah snapping his fingers at Avram and saying, see there, now you're blessed. It took a process to which this man of great belief was willing to avail himself. If you go into military training, so I'm told, you go into to boot camp where they remake you according to the military preferred image. I've seen a number of military style films and heard reports from those that have been through the process, and you end up being called a maggot. You're the lowest form of life, and then they remold you, remake you into this great warrior, this Marine, this soldier, this sailor. And when they tell you, go take that hill, go stand your ground, go to your battle stations, you don't think about anything else but doing the things that you were trained and equipped to do. When it comes to citizens of the kingdom, we have to get out of our earthly carnal mindsets. We have to get out of the places where we pity ourselves or we feel sorry for ourselves, or where we're willing to blame all of our life issues on someone else, and that we take stock of ourselves in the spirit, not in the flesh. We stop looking at the man or the woman in the mirror as if that is our real identity, and we begin to see the warrior, the incredible gifted one, the prophet, the speaker, the teacher, the helper, the administrator that is on the inside, that the Ruach flows through and vitally connects us with the one on the throne in the heavens and enables us to do exceedingly great and glorious things to honor him and for his name. And so while there are those that want to be like Avram or Avraham, as he was to be called, because they see him as a man of great wealth and that he was significant and that he was walking with Yah, and they put him on this high pedestal, he was a man that questioned and struggled and wondered, and he prayed. He was given a great promise, but he had to wait 25 years for that promise to come about. How many of the things that we have prayed for over the years have we given up on because we thought that simply it's taking too long, therefore it must not be Yah's desire? There are those that have prayed and prayed and prayed, and their prayers still haven't been answered, but they keep on praying. I want to leave you today with the story of Sister Roberts, a woman that my family and I met while pastoring in the coal mine town in southwestern Virginia. And she prayed for decades for her husband, who was given to drunkenness, who tore up her Bibles, who took her Sunday school literature and tore them in shreds and threw them in the trash. Instead of leaving him in a huff and being angry with him, she'd simply go buy herself another Bible and get new Sunday school literature. And she prayed for her husband. This is a woman who hid with her children under the front porch, coming home from church because her husband was drunk, mad, and shooting at them for going to church. But in the end, her husband got humbled. He came down with a form of cancer, and his last days were spent with Sister Bernice Roberts, leading him to Messiah, praying with him, teaching him to pray, and sharing the word with him. She said, "Goody, goody, devil, I won after all." Be encouraged. If you're blessed, hang in there and see what Yahweh is going to do. We'll see you again tomorrow. To then, shalom.